y'all? You already know it's your girl Tay Marie, and welcome to Soul Food Podcast. Okay, what's up, y'all? Today, the episode is called "Embracing Your Worthiness." Ooh, that make me think of Alicia Keys' song. That is my favorite song, "A Woman's Worth." Like, man, hold on, wait. Don't easily see between the lines, spell it out for you, spell it out for you. That's my song. But yeah, so knowing your worthiness is today's episode. And you guys already know, before we get into it, I want to thank my viewers. Thank you for always coming back and watching your girl. Just get it off her chest, do the shadow work. And I always hope that this message touches you guys, good or bad. And like I always say, if it's bad, turn it into something positive, okay? Of course, you already know, shout out to that sponsor, shout out to that business, Define Cosmetics, shout out to Define Cosmetics. You already know it's my self-care line, okay? And while we at it, don't forget to shout out your business, okay? That's on the link on Soul Food Podcast Instagram page. That's SOULFFOFF. Oh my goodness. SOULFOOD pod POD_CLE. You already know. Tap the link so you can shout out your business, and tap the link to also answer the question of the week. And while you guys are at it, go ahead and follow me on YouTube and like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and you already know to get notified about your girl uploading. Okay, so you already know, let's get into it. Nothing too crazy today. Okay, so the question I have today is, how can recognizing your worthiness transform your spiritual journey? The first one that I wrote down was self-compassion, of course. You have to realize that you have to give yourself grace when you put yourself in certain situations. Let's go back to what even worth even means. It's something that you value, something that has value. Okay, so what's worthy? Your time, your money, your energy. These are very important. These are things that you're gonna have to deal with at the end of the day. And if you just have chaos in your life, you gotta start assessing things. What is worth my time? What is worth me being in this atmosphere? If it's not lining up with something that you believe is valuable, then give yourself some grace and be compassionate about changing things that ain't aligning with you in the first place. The next one is less criticism. And when you start realizing that there's no value here for me, you tend to also have those negative thoughts, or even people saying like, who do you think you are? Why do you feel like you're not worth being here or around me or whatever? And it don't have to be an argument, but just say like, what you do, I don't do that no more. I found that I don't have any interest in that. That doesn't do anything for me. And sometimes you do start talking down like, man, dang, what do I look like setting boundaries? What do I look like trying to perfect my worth in my life, my worthiness? And you look like a person that's stepping up and putting your values first. That's fine. You have to speak up on what you want, because once you figure out what you want, once you realize your worth, then that's when you'll allow deeper connection with yourself and other people. Because for one, once you allow that deeper connection with yourself, I know my values, I know my boundaries, I know what I'm going to deal with, and what can I even step up in my presence. But once you figure that out, your worth, then that's when you start drawing in people. They're like, okay, I can respect that. And then that's when they slowly can be closer to you, and you can open a connection with them because they know what you find value in when it comes to friendship, what you find value in when it comes to relationship. You guys are on the same page. You don't have to question them. You don't have to keep repeating yourself and still repeat yourself a year later, because they already know what it is they have to do or what they cannot do to be there in your life in the first place. Next, I want to just talk about the significance of self-worth and faith. And what I wrote down was, it reflects how we value ourselves. You know, like I told you guys in episode 11, I started a journey where if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna take the time, be by myself, work on myself, heal myself, one thing for sure I cannot do is have sex. I cannot have sex, and I've been doing very good at this. And the reason why I don't want to have sex is because I feel like sex clouds your judgment very much. And I seen the power it had over me. You know, not only do I feel like loyalty is my biggest thing, but if I'm especially just having sex with you, that spiritual connection, that spiritual exchange, which is very real, you start carrying on the traits and the things that other people that you're laying with are carrying, and it starts coming into you. And how that even happens is just like, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to really explain the exchange. However, one thing I do notice is that you just know when somebody's carrying a bad spirit. Like, one time I was in a relationship and I was having sex with this guy, and one thing I noticed is after having sex with him, I would feel groggy, I would feel tired, I wouldn't feel like myself. You know, I'm just laying there, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this ain't me, I shouldn't even be feeling like this. Like, I'm having sex with the person that I care about. You know, I'm making sure that we both feel good, he's making sure I feel good. So why do I feel so down, you know? And whatever he was carrying, obviously I was carrying that too, you know? Whatever emotions he got going on, he's gonna bring back to me, you know, because we shared such a sacred time with each other. You know, when it's time for him to release those feelings, you know, women are receivers. I'm receiving all that. I'm receiving everything that he's feeling. And when you get into that position where you're making commitments like that, I'm not having sex anymore, I'm not giving up myself, you finally put up that worthiness. You finally understand that, hey, my peach got some value. Okay, I can't just be handing her out to everybody. Everybody ain't gonna take care of her like I'ma take care of her. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find somebody that's gonna be like, you know, that's right there with you, that respects you because you keeping it close, that respects you because you want to get to know them before opening up your legs. You know what I mean? And that feeling can have you feeling inadequate. But the first thing I want to just point out is you just got to have strength within yourself. Stand on them values, okay? Let the person know that's coming into your life, hey, I'm not giving it up. You know, be strong. You didn't tell the people in your past, hey, I'm not giving it up. You know what I'm saying? I said this one time in my Tay Talks. One time I believed in my mind that I felt like I had to give all of me to have somebody, because I felt like, okay, if I'm going in this, I'm going in this. I need to show my man that, hey, you can have it. Like, it's all good over here. We're good. Let's go. Like, what's up? But no, because some men will tell you anything to make you happy so you can open them legs and give them that pocket full of sunshine. You heard? Okay? But no, you gotta be strong in it. You gotta let him know, hey, you want this, then you need to step up your game. You need to put on some pressure. You need to let me know that you really want to be here, because then you can get some of this sunshine when we actually are committed. When I know for a fact that outside or not in my presence, you're gonna let somebody know, hey, I got this going on for myself and it's going good. I don't even want nothing to mess up what I got going on. And even if this said person finds out that you in my face trying to even pursue me or get me away or whatever, it's gonna be taken away from me. I didn't put some time into this. I actually want this, and I'm not about to do anything to lose what I got going on. Not even for some kitty cat or some dangling. Next, you gotta make some realistic goals about what you're doing. Okay, and we're gonna keep carrying this on. My goal is to actually give myself to a person that really wants to commit to me. Marriage sounds like the perfect plan. I want to give myself to the person that wants to marry me. I want to give myself to the person that actually is going to take care of me, that actually wants me, But also a big realistic goal on top of that is, again, swapping them spirits. I want to make sure the person that I'm even laying down with, giving myself to, they're okay. Do they even trust me? Do they have problems in old relationships that they're trying to carry on or project onto me? Because then that can mess up a lot. That could turn a good relationship into a situationship where y'all not even talking no more. You finally gave yourself up, and then boom. Now they don't call you. They ghosted you. And then years later or 6 months down the line, they telling you the only reason why they did it is because, after we had sex, I don't know. Or whatever the excuse is, You can't just give yourself to anybody. Men too. You gotta make sure everything is cool, everything is right. You don't have to go out there and do anything like that. You don't gotta have sex with nobody. You can self-pleasure. You can do other things, or if you even trying to stay away from self-pleasuring, put that energy into something else. Go to the gym. Make a goal of that. Learn a new instrument, learn a new language, do something else to get your mind right, get your mind off of that. Because out here having sex, releasing built up energy isn't going to do anything but move that energy into something else. Now your mind's on this person you just gave your cookie to, or to, and you thinking about, them all the time. They clouding your judgment. They keeping you off the goals that you're supposed to really be doing for yourself. Now you delaying yourself because you, instead of actually looking in the mirror and saying, I need to fix me, you rather go out there and start chaos and bring somebody else with it, with their own chaos. You got to really understand who you laying with. Who are you talking to? Yeah, it's good, but who is this? Another example, I was talking to the same guy I was telling y'all about, and after a while, when I wasn't trying to mess with this person anymore and kind of like trying in my early 20s to do what I'm doing now, just worry about myself, the person that I was talking to was such a sweet guy. He was so nice and all this stuff. But once I started backing away, then I really seen who he was. All I gotta say is, dude threatened me on the phone, on Instagram, with a gun in his hand, dude. And I had to block him and let him know, like, hey, you need to chill. you need to chill on me. Like, it ain't never that deep, you know. But it come back down to things like that. Like I didn't expect him to turn around and threaten me with a gun, talking about some next time I see you is up, like, or whatever he said to me. But it was like, you're crazy, okay? You acting like I had cocaine in the ussy. Like, what is wrong with you? You ain't never that attached to me. So you really do got to get to know people and figure out, like, is this even a positive relationship? Is this person okay for me to even bring into my life? Because I learned from Red Table Talk with Jada. I might butcher it a little bit, but overall, she basically was talking about her and Will Smith, saying how he isn't her happiness, you know, he's adding on. And that's where the positive relationship basically stems from. What are they adding on to your life? Is it toxic with this person? Is it beneficial with this person? And I'm not talking about just money wise, like, oh, they're putting money in my pocket, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, I'm talking about, like, okay, are they giving you money to invest in something to help you grow? Are they making sure that, you know, when you need something, they're actually there? Are they putting in that time? Are they treating you like a priority? Are they respecting your values? Like, you have to understand and learn, like, okay, this person really meets up with what I have already going on in my life. It's not too heavy. It doesn't leave me in confusion. It doesn't have my head pounding at night, you know, or walking on eggshells with this person. Like, this person actually is a positive asset in my life. If you feel like you don't have any positive people or honest people around you that will hold you accountable, seek therapy. And not because, oh, I'm going crazy, I'm mad, I'm this, I'm that. Like, no. Seek therapy because your therapist is there to keep you accountable. They're going to tell you, they're going to sit there and listen to you about the things that you got going on in your life, and they're going to hold you accountable by letting you know the people around you are not serving you. When I was in therapy, my therapist told me some hard things about the people that I call friends, but also my family, which it really opened my eyes and opened the door to, like, dang, she was right. That's crazy. That's crazy, you know? And I tried to hold myself accountable on certain things and know my worth and know my boundaries, because, again, I know who I am. Friendship wise, relationship, I'm loyal. I may have my days where maybe I'm not always this way, and some people don't like that, but that's because years of going through BS, I had to learn where I gotta be like, no. And I'm really learning that now, because I wasn't always a no type of person, but now I'm like, no. And if you're mad at me about me stopping you while you already ahead, that shows me even more of a reason why I gotta stop you. Because you think you could just do whatever you want in my energy, in my life. No. If I said no, then it's no, you know? And I used to hate that, but I only hated it because I never was upfront about how I felt. Or when people ask me favors and they like to hit you with that, oh, what you got going on? Just so they can hit you with, oh, so you not doing nothing. Don't tell me I ain't doing nothing. Maybe I'm not telling you what I got going on because I really want to just hear what you got to say, so I can tell you no, or yeah, I could do that for you. You know, you gotta know who in your life needs them boundaries and needs to be told the F off. Like, hey, you can't do that. And I don't care if I'm a nice person, this, that, and the third. I could be a whatever tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you, of course I'm gonna be whatever you want me to be right now because you need something from me. But once you really start knowing your worth, that's when people really should start showing theirs. So the viewer question of the week is, what practices can you internalize your worthiness in God's eyes? And what I wrote down was internalizing verses that speak to you from God's word. And I cannot think of this verse right now, but I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. But one thing that always speaks to me is whatever you do it with all your heart, you know. And I had to learn that, because for one, the example that's attached to was my Instagram, and my social media, period. Because I heard from somebody one day on Instagram about, what does your page say about you? And I thought to myself, like, what does my page say about me? Does it even scream me? And at the time, I don't think the message or how I wanted to present myself was truly myself. I felt like I was just doing stuff for a joke, for fun, for likes, and it really didn't have substance. But I knew, especially when I first started Tay Talks, but I knew that I wanted to do it to help people, to give advice that somebody may need to hear. And I knew I couldn't touch everybody, but if I'm gonna present myself like this on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever, I have to truly show who I am. And then further down the line, especially after having my son and really trying to understand and get to know God and his word, I learned from my prayer call and from all the podcasts that I watch, you ain't going nowhere if God ain't in it. God gotta truly be in it. You cannot force nothing, because ultimately God is the one in control. You know, you could be really doing something, but if you know that it doesn't line up, like, it's just like the saying, if you don't believe in anything, you'll fall for anything, you know. And this one pastor that I love so much, her name is Stephanie Ike. She said she used to do parties in LA, like back in the day. So she was doing parties, and the guy that came to her wanted her to throw some type of sex party. I don't know. He had a whole blueprint layout written for her to read over what they were going to have going on at this party. And since she's a woman of God, she had to deny it. And this man even offered her more money on top of what he was about to pay her. He's like, please, I heard you are a good party planner. Help me out here. But she just felt like that was not aligned with what she believed in, and she just didn't want to put her name attached to that. So, you know, related to that verse, if you really know, like, if you really know your worth, okay, of course, if she was the best party planner in LA, they were bomb every night, hands down, money coming, whatever, you know, she could have stuck with that thought of, like, what I look like passing this up, this could be an opportunity for me, this could actually take me far. But in her heart, it didn't line up with her. She couldn't do it. She didn't feel right doing that. And imagine her trying to work and put her best foot forward in that, and then for people to see her name attached to something, I don't know what it could have been, I don't know what type of party it was, you know, but at the end of the day, she knew her worth in that. She knew, like, me passing this up may make this person mad. They may even have bad things to say about me at the end of the day. But I feel like I would get more respect by walking away and not lowering my value, what I believe in, just to receive some money that could be gone tomorrow, could be lost, stolen, whatever. You gotta know, again, your boundaries, your values, before you really put yourself in situations. Who knows what could have went down? Who knows what type of things that they're into? If it's a sex party, people got fetishes. All right, so that is the episode today. I want to first of all, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Location change. My phone had died. I had to drive somewhere until it turned back on, but I just wanted to come back real quick and thank you guys for joining the show today. If you guys know anybody that needs this message, go ahead and get them hip to some soul food. You feel me? But of course, I want to thank my viewers for coming back and listening to me. Thank you so much. Even if it's one person, like I said, hey, thank you for your view and thank you for coming back. And I really hope that this message spoke to you today. You needed to hear this. Of course, you guys already know, shout out to that business, shout out to that sponsor, Define Cosmetics. Go ahead and tap into Define Cosmetics and go ahead and get you some oils or whatever. Or, like I always tell you guys, hit me up in my DMs on Instagram. You guys already know it's Soul Food Podcast. That's SOULFOOD pod, POD_CLE. Of course, I'll send you the link or let me know whatever you need. I got you. Don't forget to shout out your business, answer the question of the week, and while you already on your phone, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. All right. So it's on with you guys. See you next week. I'm out.